Brother, welcome back to the channel. We've slept on it. We've had a quick look what happened. I know it's time to look at the 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United against Wigan in the FA Cup last night as we booked our ticket to the next round. Number 1, job done. We are through to the next round, and that's actually all that matters, but it was an uninspiring performance, and we made bloody hard work of it. And I know we created so many chances, but I expect better. I expect us to be finishing those chances. And we were made to work against a significantly inferior football side. And it feels like there's a lot of issues in the team. We are not clicking. This isn't like, one player comes back into the team. We know how to pass to each other now. We know how to carve a team open. There's like so many issues that it's difficult to figure out where you even begin to start with this. But winning is a habit, and it's a habit United need to instill. You have to find a way to win. And the FA Cup might be an opportunity for us to have a real go at something. We have proven we can certainly frustrate certain teams. I don't think you could argue that we've beaten anyone. Maybe if we can put Spurs across this weekend, that would be a good one. I'd say Villa, actually. It feels weird saying about Villa, but I guess we had a real good go at Villa at home. Beating the likes of City and Liverpool, and probably even Arsenal to a greater or lesser degree, feels beyond us at the moment, with the manner of our performance. So you need a lot of luck and a lot of praying to be able to get through one of those games. And if we got to a final and it was against a City or a Liverpool, could you see it going any different to the way the last FA Cup final went? Because I can't. Number 2. Højlund misfiring. So he did have more chances last night. I did mention that, but people didn't seem to pick up on that, and there was loads of people saying he missed chances. All right, he did. He still had the least amount of shots out of all of our forwards, and actually, apart from Mainoo, the rest of our midfield as well, which isn't acceptable. That's the guy. His job is to do the shooting. Not McTominay, not Bruno, not necessarily Rashford or Garnacho, but they still are to a greater or lesser degree. He is the one that is meant to be taking the shots. Now, what has happened is it feels like he's gotten into the Diego Forlan mode, where he's desperate to score a goal, and you can see it in every move, every pass that doesn't come, and every shot that he sends wide. He did miss a couple of really good chances. Waiting for some of his finishing in front of goal to become more instinctive requires him to have a volume of shots. The volume of shots that he's taken at the moment is it's almost non-existent. He looks like he's overthinking things, or that's leading to him mishitting it. It's probably a confidence thing as well. You have no choice but to stick with him and hope he comes good. And I actually think even bringing in someone in January, which there's talk of, with Choupo-Moting or a Timo Werner, I'm not necessarily sure bringing somebody else in to help carry the weight of expectation will actually do him any good. Because if he's in his head thinking, I can't score a goal, he's not going to relax when you bring another striker in. And if that striker starts hitting the ground, let's say you bring in Timo Werner, who, by all accounts, has failed in the Premier League in the past. If he comes in and just happens to be the right kind of sauce that this team was looking for and starts scoring, do you think Højlund's going to feel better or worse? It isn't going to take the pressure off him. It's going to put the pressure on him even more. And Werner or Moting are only going to be coming in as a loan option. So do you want to piss off your guy that you've gone all in on and spent a lot of money for over having a dance with a loan signing? Doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? So it's a mad predicament because we do need reinforcements, but it can't be someone that takes his place, because that's going to absolutely consign his confidence to the shit can in a big way. Number 3, Mainoo. Again, the guy is a joy to watch. I think he's staking a claim to not just be like worthy of a starting position, but he's becoming a reliable player, arguably one of our best players. He's a genuine metronome in the middle of the park, something I've wanted to see with us for a long time. The biggest hope is that United don't fucking break him. I think there is a potential to see him as a number 8. I think he's got a little bit more forward play in him than a true sort of defence-minded number 6. It'd be really interesting to see what Ten Hag brings in alongside him. If he sees a destroyer style 6 that goes alongside him, or if he brings in a more Frankie de Jong sort of midfield progressor alongside him and asks Mainoo to do that sort of dirty work. Really, really interesting to see how he develops, because there's so much development to happen with him. But on the ball, so impressive. And off the ball, his awareness just puts him in the right position. And like I said, he isn't blessed with blistering pace. So when he gets someone that's got some wheels and he gets ran at, there is a bit of a weakness with him there, but he doesn't get exposed with it. It's just like, he doesn't have the recovery pace, to get back in front of every single winger in the world. There's not many that do, in all honesty, but I'm just loving watching him play football at the moment. His decision-making is fantastic. He's just absolute credit to whoever taught him football, because he just gets it. He's just got that extremely simple way of playing the game, and that doing something that simple is actually incredibly difficult to do. There's a sophistication in keeping it simple, and that's Kobbie Mainoo at the moment. Number 4, non-league away day. It's either League 2 or a National League non-league Eastleigh away in the next round. It's a favourable draw. We don't get a lot of those. It is what the FA Cup is about, and there's some talk that this could be switched. I don't know if that's even a possibility anymore. The allocation for away fans, if it's Eastleigh, is going to be whatever can fit in a 17-seater minibus. But it bodes well for our first attempt at a cup run. It's not a bye by any stretch of the imagination the way we're playing, but it's a real favourable draw that you've got to expect United will progress through. Massive day for the opposition. And the way the FA Cup works, it's a 3-way split, I think, between the FA, the home team, and the away team. So unfortunate for them that it's not at Old Trafford, because that could have secured the future of certainly an Eastleigh, and I'm sure Newport wouldn't be turning their noses up at that sort of cash coming through the door as well. But it's one of those, and I forgot to mention it last night. I did mention it on the review that I did with Joe, but in the middle of the game here in Cheshire League, which is what Stretford Paddock are in, getting a shout out. The keeper, Tickle, came for Pilkington. Pilkington are in our league. He used to play for Pilkington and then was signed by whoever before ending up at Wigan. I think he spent some time at Warrington Rylands. But Ahmad's at it. So a kid, but a few years ago, playing in the Cheshire League. I think he won Player of the Season as Pilkington won the league, and then has moved himself into playing for Wigan and facing Manchester United in the FA Cup. It shows that actually getting out of the academy system early doors, again, reaping rewards for players as they move themselves up through the leagues. So well done on him, and well done on either Eastleigh or Newport. It'll be that face us. And number 5, it looks like Garnacho started to nail down that right-hand side. He's definitely dynamic and threatening, certainly more so than Anthony. Anthony does give you a little bit more defensive work rate, but he was lively last night. It was one of the few that was lively. It was quite a lifeless game otherwise. I mean, it was boring. I mean, I don't know how a game that's got 30-odd shots can be boring, but it was flat, wasn't it? And I don't know if that's United falling down to the level of Wigan. But, Garnacho was probably unlucky not to have a couple of assists. He's got to find a level of consistency now, and as Sir Alex says, that's the hardest thing with young players, is, finding consistency with them. Once they find consistency, they've matured and become, viable first-team players, and not been this exciting prospect. But Garnacho's development's going okay. If he can start consistently providing for others, as well as chipping in with his own goals, he will find himself starting all the time. Simple as that. But that's my thoughts, as always. Cheers to everyone for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. And if you're interested, I've just dropped a video yesterday on the IRL channel. We've got a whole project about to kick off over there. So go head over to the IRL channel, and I want your opinions on which of the 3 cars that I should be getting. Go let me know over on the IRL channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.